Yakumo.
Hi, Leo.
Come back to our conversation, Yakumo and Lee. So last time we were talking about the importance of developing mental strength, and today we are going to continue giving some example of our examples to 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 develop the mental strength. So maybe this time I can start. Okay.
That'll be good.
Yeah. So for me, I feel like because in our lives there are lots of challenges. Yeah. And I feel like in my case I was forced to improve it. I wasn't really, you know, in the beginning, I didn't initiate. I feel like I was forced. I feel like there are situations, and obviously, there are some situations happen to each person that you might find it difficult to describe to other people. In my case, there are lots of them. So I was
Like
almost,
nightmare,
yeah,
right?
like, yeah, it's hard to explain. I try to express it in some of my writing, my paintings, drawings,
Comics?
comics. Yeah, I did a comics, and even some designs. I think some of my graphic design, commercial design, you can
Mm,
probably see a bit as well. But I think if I look back, it is not necessary a terrible thing. I think if whatever happened, if we cannot choose our experience, at least we can choose how do we learn from our experience. Yeah,
yeah,
and until today, it becomes it have become the probably a important part of me where I can continue facing the challenge today, which is like I believe for for many individuals, it is hard to see what is abstract. Yeah. It is hard to focus on improving what is not visible, not tangible. But this is exactly why we are here to explain and to encourage, including ourselves, the mental strength.
yeah,
And we use a lot of metaphor that it's like a human body. Yeah? Human body is tangible, and the mind is not tangible. But if you practice, it becomes more and more tangible. Yeah,
yeah.
and you can actually feel that
That muscle.
exactly the muscle. Yes,
Yeah,
the missing word. Yes,
yeah,
for 7:47 in Toronto. Yes. Yes. So I think eventually, from a selfish point of view, you have to benefit from what you practice. Yeah. Although, if I look back, so it was like looking at myself growing up and what I experienced. Even today, I can still feel very vivid. It's very clear. Just like you just woke up from your dream.
Yeah.
And like 2 days ago, I had this strange, semi lucid dream. Like, I think I only know half, like I'm dreaming or not. And I was using my will to control the specific kind of object. So in the beginning, I was thinking, like, I didn't know I was dreaming,
Yeah.
and but I thought maybe before I go to sleep, I watch some kind of video about, one sacred Tibetan practice. Maybe that's why, yeah. So I was in my dream, and I was looking for some, objects on the table and one piece of art on the wall. And when I look at them, I start to think, are they going to move by themselves or not? Like, so- and then for that thought, I start to feel like maybe I can control them. So the first thought came like automatically, but the second thought, I adjust. Yeah, I start to feel like, oh, maybe I can move them.
Why don't I
Why don't I
move
move
them?
them? Yes, and then came from nowhere this specific object called, if you're Canadian, ice hockey. Yeah? And the ball they play with ice hockey is not a ball, it's a puck. So
Yeah.
it's a very
But
specific tablet like
yeah,
object. It's soft, but it's also hard. Because
really,
I saw
I
someone,
always think they're hard.
I saw someone was hit uh, in a in an event, and this
He was
lady,
okay.
precisely, a lady, she
Yeah.
sit very close to the rink, yeah,
Yeah.
and she got hit, and so when she came into the game, she was vertical, but when she went down, she's horizontal. She was
So
carry out.
how do you know it's solved? I I
No, because
was
I touch
thinking
it.
that.
I touch it.
Oh, I was
Yeah, he.
thinking that you would say
I
she
think
was okay.
she. I think she's okay. She just got hit badly. Because if I didn't memorize wrong, she was laughing when she got hit.
Yeah.
Anyway, the park,
Yeah.
no R, okay? Now the park is a park. Very strange word. Because you know how to replace the P to F, then you know how to pronounce. And so I was in my mind controlling a lot of parks in my dream, circling
Uh,
around like, you know, unidentified object, like circling around.
UFO, like UFO.
Yes, and they are supposed to be small, yeah, but in my dream they are huge. Like I don't sense the the real size of the object, but I was enjoying the process so much, like because I believe I mentally control many of those during a short period of time. So that what I just mentioned was a dream. Yeah, for most people, it is not important, and it was like 3 days ago. I still remember. Yeah, like I still remember the detail. I still remember the wall and the color, the what is the object, and why I began to realize I'm in a dream. And those, I think, is a sign that, because we're talking about the strengths, yeah, But really, it's not only the strength; it's also the, clarity. It's also the understanding, the ability to sense many different features. When you try to develop this, how do you say, mental body? Yeah, you say mental body, like metaphysical existence, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're talking about something even broader, like mental abilities, uh, the possible abilities that you might be able to develop. Yeah, that's interesting. But back then, we were actually more narrowed on the mental strength.
Mhm.
So all these things that you just describe, um, uh, you can either do them with strength or like not so. You can do them with power or not. Uh, and I think um, that's more like what we talked about previously.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So that's interesting. But mm, why did we mention about mental strength? I like to go back a little bit to uh, to it. So just like you say, things happen, or people like to say shit's happen, shit happens, and you can choose your experience, just like you just mentioned. You can choose your experience. You can choose what happened, what doesn't happen, but you can always prepare. And for things like, uh, for example, just a few days ago, we all know a disaster happened in Japan again. No, yeah. So the earthquake. Earthquake. So I think we all agree. So far, earthquake might be the
Devastated.
if it's not the only one, then it should be one of the fewest things that people cannot uh, control or prevent, right? But it happens. It happens all the time. In fact, it happens. And then what comes after? Wounds, death, death of uh, your family, your close people, and besides those physical support, uh, I think no, not just I think. Um, it's true that those people who face the dis- sorry, the disaster, sooner or later they have to deal with their um, mental injury, mental wounds.
Traumatized, yeah.
Yes, yes. Um, and not everybody can can overcome that. Um, is a very big um, event, right? To lose someone in your life suddenly. So um, I would say um, if one has ever spent time to develop his mental strength, it might be easier for them to overcome. I didn't mean that it's easy. It would be really easy, but it could be easier, uh, at least to prevent from breaking down when face such kind of thing. So,
Yeah, I think it is hard to to predict other people, like what they will response. I remember the 921 earthquake. Yeah, I remember in
yeah,
it was how many how do you say mega. Oh, I forgot how to say those earthquake. You know the I was very close to the epicenter, basically. So in Zhanghua, yeah. So
yeah,
that was a big hole behind us, the school, the campus, and I I just remember like I was kind of calm, and I can sense the panic of the people around
yeah,
very quickly. Not only humans, even animals. You can see animals, they start to act very unusually. They have, you know, different movement, and like that's the reaction. We are talking about the reaction. We're not talking about the preparation. So I think we have some kind of illusion. We live in a peaceful time, and everything's
safe
fine.
place, safe.
Exactly. I have a job. Things are good, and so I don't need to do anything. So I would do only when something happened. Yeah, but it is very similar to, okay, I'm not hungry now, so I don't need to prepare food. Like we are where we are modern self self believed civilized humans. So we have food in the refrigerators. But if you just go back to the very basic idea, you 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 get to go hunting. Yeah, you have to go hunting, and you have to prepare. If you live in a cold place, you have to prepare for the winter. Yeah, you have to chop the logs, and you have to prepare basically. But for some reason, we don't. Yeah, we don't really prepare.
Yeah, yeah. I I think the point um is not to, of course, not to tell people to drop your refrigerator and go to somewhere that you have to hunt, really hunt for your food. But I think your point is so many of these civilized things that we're used to. So we think that we might have this illusion that we are totally safe. We're totally immune from any hurt, right? When it's not the truth. It's not the truth. Um, I always think mm, this might be a bit far from the topic, but I always think it's really ironic. You know, when earthquake hits, it's not really the earthquake that kill people, but the house kill people. And where come the house? We invented this, right? We invented this to protect us. And when the earthquake hits, these things kill us.
Yeah, the shelters. We should have different levels. We should have a different kind of shelters. Not everything built by concrete. And and you know those materials we use today is definitely not the best. Not even mentioning earthquake. Even in a regular base,
Yeah,
it's not the most ideal, especially place like Taiwan. Yeah, like you definitely either you will be crushed by your materials, like building materials, or you'll be killed by the fire. Like there will be a, you know, power shortage or whatever. Like you can cause some kind of, or you live in I know 55 storage of the you know the high rise building, and you have to jump like that. It's just crazy how we create a death trap for ourselves. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
but that's actually really relates to what we are talking about today, because why we need such a strong construction to protect us, because we don't feel safe. Yeah, if you
yeah,
have if you have stronger mental strength, maybe you don't need. Yeah, maybe you don't feel like you need such protection. That that's the mental state
strength.
we have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, we're always afraid. Collectively, people people are afraid of this and that. So yes, that's why we create these things. So we might enjoy the illusion that we're safe.
Because we don't only create, uh, what is tangible, like that. We also create the vaccine, yeah, to protect us from the virus, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, there's a lot of example over there, and we also have a tendency to collect lots of information, knowledge, so we feel like we are strong, right? Which is not. Like it doesn't really help you inside everything, inside all those protections. Maybe I'm still weak human, yeah. I'm still weak mind.
yeah,
Just being
yeah,
covered and decorated by all those things. So it seems like I'm wonderful. I'm great.
yeah,
Yeah. It's in the end of the day, is what you mentioned, the truth. What is real? Yeah. Without facing that, without developing the core, I think it's always weak, always some kind of problematic situations you have to deal with. Of course, there are always problems,
yeah,
but what kind of problems you choose to face. Yeah, I think that's the key. And yeah, so I think, yeah, I think mm, maybe next time we can share some of our own experience. How do we improve the mental strength? Yeah, maybe.
along the way. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's good for today. And thank you again for the
Thank you.
conversation.
Too.
And so, thank you, everybody. And please, feel free to write anything if you have any opinion. We can have a conversation here. And please subscribe. And see you next time.
See you.